The persecuted or the comfortable, give us a prayer. You can hold on to them doors. I don't want them having more. Nobody will suffer no more. Only say things that will end with applause. Don't offend no one except for the Lord. No loss. You were too good to be throwing your cross. I'm at the cross. Do what you want.
And take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith would be made stronger in the presence of my Savior.
How does a man stay on top? Become the servant of all. When you the servant of all, no competition's involved. Cause who is knocking you off? There's no one left to fall. Progressive with the flow, that's a little one. Cause I'm assured, I'm sure you're missing these little puns. I'm assured, get a settlement is finna come. You're still shining if I'm jacked for every nickel suck. Cause no way I'ma die slow. No way I'ma die slow. Won't break, I will not fold. Cancel my tune, not my soul. I go blindfold in and out of time zones. I'm in my zone. Put it up on your iPhone, leaving your mind blown. Looking for some rival. I can see him riding down on the white horse, looking like OJ in the Bronco. And I'm learning when I've flown. Flights make my perspective stronger. The higher that I go with grace, everything below is smaller. I must do it this well. He holds my airways. I breathe with a heavy flow. Forevermore. It's a bullet in the name, like I'm singing in the exit room. I gotta make an exit though. What would they remember though? Hope I was born hopping with metaphors, metaphors, standing in truth when I was so strong. Bring it, they can throw violence. I'm in the back grinning like Joe Biden. He rules the ocean beside it. To be frank, no ocean I won't dive in.
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me
Hey everybody, my name's Oliver. I'm also part of the Kingdom team as well, and I wanted to share with y'all what happened a little bit. I went through some of the stuff that you kind of saw in the skit. I've dealt with drug addiction. I wasn't much of the party person, but I was always dealing with a crowd that wasn't necessarily good for me. They were a bit toxic. They got me into a lot of trouble. Almost ended up in jail a few times. And I was kind of tired of the life I was living. But at the same time, I always kept filling it with something else other than God. I always knew who God was. And I knew that He loved me. But I didn't really have a relationship with Him. And He has always spoken to me through other people, through church pastors, and He's always called me to be a pastor in my life since I was a child. But I always felt like that wasn't exactly for me. Because sometimes we go through all this, but we don't really see it the way God sees it. We don't really see ourselves the way that God sees us. He loves us and He cares for us and He wants the best for us. Even though we may not believe it at the time, because we're dealing with something that's tugging at us, and that we're dealing with so bad sometimes that we just don't want to talk to anybody. We just want to keep it to ourselves, even though it's eating you away. But sometimes all you have to do is just take that first step, and God will just take care of it all. He just wants you to just give your heart to Him. It's probably the best choice you'll ever make in your life. Sometimes you'll look back and see the wonderful things that God will show you. You won't be able to see it now, but when you look back, you'll see how far you've come. And you'll thank God for the wonderful things that He's done in your life. So I want to encourage you to take that first step if you haven't already. If you don't have a relationship with Him yet, do so. It was definitely something that I will always have a big place in my heart as well. So I want to thank y'all for being here, for taking the time to come and worship the Lord. Just take the time to just take it in. Even if you may not feel like it sometimes, but all He wants is just that moment with you that could change the rest of your life. So thank you.
Amen.